Will. You may have noticed he's not presenting Spring Watch this year. You may have also read the cover story that this is because he's suffering from a bout of acute depression. Well, the truth is, involving a distressed baby owl, a butterfly net, and a tube of KY jelly. Now, I would like to point out that I am treating him well. I decided against, for example, keeping him in a cage, and instead I keep him underneath a large, upturned baby's cot. And I'm hoping, right, that for Bill's peace of mind, this feels less like a prison and more like a bizarre turn of events. I've also managed to work out what his favourite food is, which, for the record, is bacon rind. You have to be very careful when you feed him, and you have to put it in the palm of your hand there, in the palm of your hand just so, because if you hold it like that, he'll have your fucking fingers off. Oh, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're all thinking. You're thinking, Bill, why keep a national treasure underneath a cot? Well, I know, and that's even odder when you think that I am an avid bird watcher, and Bill Oddie is the Barack Obama of the bird watching world. And just to prove a point, I'd like to say that everything I know, I've learned from the birds. From the heron, who taught me patience, to the swan, who taught me faithfulness, and of course the tit who gave me driving lessons. No, that's not a breast-based pun. It was in fact a blue tit that taught me how to drive, which is, as you know, a very common bird to find in the garden, slightly less common to find working for BSM. But you see, despite all that, you see, I still had to kidnap Bill, and the reason for that is very, very simple. It's because some of my best friends are badgers, you see, and time was that every springtime I would go down to the woods where I would be guest of honour at the Badgers Sports Day. And just to give you a sense of how much fun that is, they have all the big three there. They've got the sack race, they've got the egg and spoon race, and they've got my personal favourite, the 1 metre dash. I win again! On top of that, I've also been dating a badger, a particularly beautiful old sow, known only as the Duchess. I've got good boyfriends. I carry a photo of her with me everywhere. And as you might be able to see from that photo there, yeah, as you can see from that, she's got very, very kind eyes, hasn't she? And you can probably tell from that, can't you, that she's got a wonderful sense of humour. But what you can't tell from that photograph is that she's got an absolutely fucking cracking ass. Anyway, now you've got a sense, haven't you, of how much the badgers mean to me. But the last few springtimes, you see, whenever I go down to the woods, they don't want to come out to play. Not even on sports day, and not even the Duchess. And why? Because they're all sat inside, glued to their TV screens, sat in front of Bill Oddie Watch, which is a ratings behemoth in the badger world. Now, the format of this is pretty simple, and in my opinion, pretty fucking dull. I mean, basically, like, a few badgers, they go down to an average suburban garden, and they all hide in the bushes, and they set up loads of hidden cameras about the place, and then they just wait, right, for Bill Oddie to appear in the kitchen window at the back. And normally this happens when one of the badgers in the film crew, when he dashes out into the garden to check a cable. And so at this point, a very strange thing happens, because Bill Oddie, he also gets out a camera in what I can only think to be some sort of whimsical, barely coherent postmodern joke. But you see, I tried to explain to the badgers, I tried to explain that Bill Oddie Watch is just lazy, low-cost, high-volume, formatted programming. But no, you see, apparently it's more complicated than that. You see, because of Bill Oddie's big, bushy charcoal beard and his mass of grey-black hair, they actually think that he is a giant domesticated badger. Which means, right, that they worship him as a god on two fronts. One, his size. Very small for a man, very big for a badger. And the fact that he seems to have successfully made the transition, yeah, from living in the woods to living in a two-bed semi in Surbiton. And I knew I couldn't compete with that type of press, so in a last-ditch attempt to win back my friendship and win back the love of the Duchess, I kidnapped him. But I should say to all of you, if any of you here ever need to kidnap Bill Oddie, yeah, the distressed baby owl, he was only there by chance. And butterfly net, I had that on me anyway, on the off chance of bagging a red admiral. All you really need is a tube, a KY jelly. Which reminds me, I've got to go and fucking feed him.